Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in this video we'll explore Spring Boot starters. Starters are hot for the Spring Boot, so we cannot expect Spring Boot without starters. So if you are a fresher or experienced, at least you should have minimum knowledge on the Spring Boot starters because it is very important in the interview point of view also. Without further delay, let's get started. Starters is nothing but dependency descriptors like a libraries. So it will help to simplify the creating Spring Boot project. So there is a two ways you can add the starters into the Spring Boot project. One is at the time of creating the Spring Boot project from the initializer. So there you can add all the dependencies. Another one is you can add the starter dependency directly from the form.xml file. Now we'll create one sample application and we'll see the starters one by one. So here is the Spring initializer and I am giving group ID like Java codex, artifact name like Spring Boot status. Package name I am keeping com.java codex and Java version I am selecting 17 and Spring Boot version 3.3.1. So here we need to specify the dependencies. So first I am selecting the web. So as of now I have added only two dependencies. One is web, another one is Lombard, and we'll explore one by one starters. You can download this project and import into IntelliJ IDE. So I have imported into IntelliJ IDE, and if you see this pom.xml file, so if you observe, I have added two dependencies. One is web, one is Lombard. If you observe this web, so it is starting spring-boot-starter. So this is one Spring Boot starter web dependency. So why we need dependency? If you want to work with Spring MVC or if you want to create a REST API, you need to add this dependency. And also we need Tomcat server to work with Spring Boot. So it will come as a embedded Tomcat server. If you want that embedded Tomcat server, also we need to add this Spring Boot starter web. So for example, we will create one sample controller and we'll see this in detail. So here I have created demo controller, and if you see, we need to use annotation REST controller and a class level and annotation request mapping to create the API. So for example, if you are trying to remove these dependencies, Spring Boot starter web from the pom.xml file, and if you refresh this pom.xml file once, and now if you see this controller class, so now it is showing the compilation error. So if you want to work with Spring MVC or to create the REST APIs, and if you want embedded Tomcat server, so we need to add this starter web into your project. This is one dependency need to add in your Spring Boot project. This is the use of Spring Boot starter web. Now we can refresh this POM again. Now this compilation errors will go away. Okay, so this is one, and second one is if you are working with database, then we need to add one more starter for that one. That starter is called Spring Boot starter data JPA. Spring Boot hyphen starter hyphen data hyphen JPA. So if you want to work with any database operations, we need to add this Spring Boot Starter Data JPA. So if you are using this Spring Boot Starter Data JPA, we no need to write all the boilerplate code like creating the connection object and session factory, session transaction. So all this code you no need to write. So just we need to use the repository interface extending JPA repository with the entity class. After that, you can perform your database operations directly. Next is security. Spring-boot-sta-rts-starter-security. So if you see this starter, this is another starter. It is a security. If you want to use authentication and authorization in your application, we need to add this dependency in your Spring Boot project. And another one is for Thymleaf. So this is another starter. If you see Spring Boot starter Thymleaf, if you want to write any kind of UI implementation for your Spring Boot application, then you can use this starter dependency in your Spring Boot project. So as of now, we've seen web, data JPA, security, and Thymleaf. And next one, actuator. So this is another starter dependency, that is Spring Boot starter actuator. What it will do, it will help you the production ready features. So if your application is deployed in the production, then if you want to see the health check of this application, like what are the services are running and the application is up or not, and what are the endpoints are available in this application. So you can able to see end-to-end metrics using this Spring Boot starter activator. For that one, we need to use this dependency. So next one is amqp. amqp stands for Advanced Message Queuing Protocol. So this starter dependency we need to use if you want to work with messaging queues like RabbitMQ. And final starter is Spring Boot Starter Text. So if you want to create any unit test cases for your Spring Boot application, we need to use this starter dependency in Spring Boot projects. So as of now, we've seen 7 Spring Boot starters. So not only these 7 Spring Boot starters, there are so many starters is available in the Spring Boot side. Based on our requirement, we need to add those starters into this Spring Boot project. So if you want to work with JWT or Auth2 also, we need to add those Spring Boot starters into the Spring Boot applications. So but major thing is at least you should aware of this, what is the starters, why we are using starters into the Spring Boot application, and where starters come into the picture in Spring Boot projects. So these starters you can able to configure at the time of creating the Spring Boot project, or if you want to add in middle, then you can add directly into the pom.xml file. So there is another way to search this starters. So if you want to search this starters, how to do? So here you can come to the browser and here you can search for example, if you want data JPA starter, then what we need to do, Spring Boot data JPA Marvin dependency. So if you see, it will automatically give the dependencies. So this is the data JPA dependency version 3.3.1. If you want, you can take any kind of version, whatever you want, you can take and you can add into the pom.xml file. So if you are using Marvin, then directly search as a Marvin dependency, you will get it directly. So what is the use of Spring Boot starters? Like Spring Boot starter is nothing but set of dependency descriptors. It will simplify the creating Spring Boot project. I hope this video is helpful for you. Please like, share and subscribe my channel.